One of the best examples of a gentleman in today's day and age is UFC fighter George St-Pierre. He's widely regarded as one of the best of all time, but his excellence goes far beyond that. He can stop you with his bare hands, but he's also charming, kind, and well-dressed. So today we're breaking down 5 lessons from GSP on how to become a gentleman fighter. The thing about GSP is he wasn't always a tough guy. He dealt a lot with bullying growing up.
A few years ago, I drove my car on the street in Montreal. It's like in the evening. I see a tall guy coming at me, and he begged for money. Put down my window. This guy, I swear it's true story, is the guy that used to bully me in school.
Whoa.
I don't want to say his name, but I say, hey, wait a second. I park my car, go talk to him. I say, what the hell you doing here, man? He's like, and he thought I would be angry because when he see me, he saw his reaction, like shoot, like now I'm world champion, you know,
right.
like I can beat him up, you know.
Right.
Back in the day, he was like 3 years older than me, was bigger, he was beating me up in the bus, this guy. Now he see me, he's like kind of a scare. I get out of my car, he don't know if he should run or not. So I go to him, I say, what you do here, man? He's like, He's like, yeah, I know, but things doesn't go well for me, you know. I was like, all right. It's like, man, you're a tall guy, you're good looking. He's like, what you doing here, man? It's like, I give him what I have left on me, you know. Like, I don't remember, like 100 something. Or I give him. I say, get out of here, man. It's like, you're full of potential. It's like, get out of here, man. Like, when I was young, when I wanted to be like you, you're a tall guy, man. You're good looking. It's like full of potential.
And this is our first lesson. He's able to hurt others, but chooses not to. Carl Jung taught that if you can't hurt anyone and you choose to be peaceful, that's not virtue. You have no other options. But if you have the ability to hurt others and then choose not to, that's virtuous. And the way to develop this is through training. Martial arts are the best, but if you can't do that, lifting weights is a great secondary option. There's a million benefits of training, but one of the best is this, that it turns you into someone who can stand up for themselves and others. There's a second theme you'll see from GSP. He treats everyone with respect, and especially his opponents. As they say in the Bible, if you love only those who love you, what credit is that? For even sinners do that. But this means making a sacrifice, because especially in the UFC, talking trash sells fights. But what makes GSP so admirable is that he's willing to live out his values even when it's not beneficial to him. In fact, that's what makes it valuable. Isn't a principle about what you give up, not what you gain? Maybe you shouldn't be looking for life to be easier because you chose to do something that is right. Your values are yours to decide, but respect for everyone, even those you don't like, is a great place to start. You can also find great guidelines in religion, books like 12 Rules for Life, and codes of ancient warriors like the samurai. This idea is so important that it begs repeating. George lives by a code. His word means something because he does the things he says he's going to do.
I'm not a perfect man, Joe. I have a lot of negative stuff about me, but one thing that I'm not is that I'm not a coward. This I swear. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do. I'm not a coward.
If you want to be a gentleman, you have to live by strong values. If you're not familiar with the UFC, early on, most fighters had one specialty martial art, say jiu-jitsu, for example. And they would train the other ones so they weren't clueless in those areas, but they weren't necessarily good at them. One of the things George was known for back then was being able to combine different martial arts together at a much higher level than anyone else. So in this, we find lesson 4. You should be skilled in many areas, not just one. There's a great quote from Robert Heinlein where he says, a human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a hog, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze a new problem, pitch manure, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently, and die gallantly. Specialization is for insects. I wouldn't use this as a checklist for the next 20 skills that you should build, but you should have a wide variety of skills. And one of those skills should be confidence. Because as George says, skills without confidence are useless.
Yeah, I think confidence is very important because if I make an analogy, an athlete can have all the skills in the world, but if he doesn't have the confidence, it's a little bit like someone who has a lot of money in his bank account but no way of accessing it. you need the confidence. And there's guys that are they're very, very talented, but when the lights are on, they lose all their confidence. They don't know how to build that up, and it's very important if you want to be successful in sport or in everything.
GSP's coach says he's not naturally gifted, at least not extremely so. But what sets him apart is he seeks out the best teachers and applies what he learns from them. When he was starting out, he had to take the bus all the way from Canada to New York City just to train with John Danaher and his squad. But he did it because he wanted to learn. Almost all the greats do this. If you've ever seen the movie Oppenheimer, you know his early life was spent traveling around the world to go study under the best physicists. Luckily, nowadays you can do this with the internet or courses or things like that. But a necessary part of this is humility, because you have to understand that you can't do it all by yourself. Hopefully, understanding that all of the greats do this helps with that. You know you're in good company. He also goes above and beyond seeking out all the information to learn and improve. Like in this clip talking about how he improved from his first fight versus BJ Penn to his second.
For me, my secret weapons was knowledge. I had a guy in Montreal, he was measuring frames. He's not a scientist, he's a friend of Ferras and I. And what he does, he watch fight and he measure frames. The way he does it is when you watch a fight and one of the guy throw a punch, he cut the picture by frame, the video by frame. Clap, 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 clap. So he's able to see which fighter has better reaction time than others. And BJ Penn, he found out that BJ Penn, of all the UFC roster at the time when he was in his prime, he had probably the best reaction time of all. According to him, Lyoto Machida was the second one. I've always been the fastest guy normally when I fight someone. When I fought BJ Penn, I tried to go first, and he was always able to, was never able to touch him with my jab, and he came back with a counter punch. However, because of what he told me, I knew that BJ Penn has a very fast reaction time, but had a very poor reset time. To him, the way he described it to me is like your nervous system is like a muscle. BJ Penn was so fast, but he's like more like a sprinter. So what I did the second fight, when I fought BJ Penn, I made him flinch. Like I fake a lot, so I make him react and flinch. So all that reaction time that he used to flinch was not used properly to avoid my punches. So I load up his nervous system with a lot of information and fake and to make him flinch and pretending I was kicking and wrestling. So he got overwhelmed and he got tired very, very fast. So that's how I beat him.
I'll throw in a bonus lesson with GSP too. He dresses well. This is small but important because it shows yourself and others that you're taking yourself seriously. It shows you respect yourself and what you're doing. Those are the 6 lessons from GSP. Thanks for watching.